Hello my fellow geeks, this is the brand new R2-D2 made by Sphero, the same company that brought us BB-8 just a few years ago. BB-8 was a revolution in technology for what he brought. I didn't think it was going to be possible, but hey, they did it. And in hindsight, it's actually pretty obvious how they did it. But now they brought us R2-D2, which you would think would just be a whole lot easier, but he is pretty amazing for everything that they packed into him. One of the biggest things you notice right away is, one, he responds a lot just sitting there. I'm not doing any input at all. This is just him just sitting there doing his thing. I might just have to leave him on my desk, powered on all the time. That might get a little annoying as he gets bored and I get bored after a while, but hey, it's R2-D2. Exactly, that's what I was thinking. R2-D2 is actually controlled by the same app as BB-8, so we're going to start by taking a look at that, and then we'll show you part of what makes this guy so amazing. So here it is. Sphero, as I mentioned, makes the same droid here, and this app controls everything that they make Star Wars related right now. There's R2-D2, there's BB-8, and there's the new BB-9E, the villain of The Last Jedi. The other thing this can control is the force band, which I actually don't have, but it's supposed to be pretty neat. I don't know if that works with R2-D2 or not, so we're not going to include that in the review. Here it will scan for nearby droids, and you'll see BB-8 and R2-D2. Ooh, and there is a BB-9E lurking around, but that's for another day. So I'm going to choose R2-D2. For most of the modes, you can only choose one droid to connect to, but there is another mode we'll cover later where you can control more than one at a time. Click confirm and we'll get it connected here, and there you could just see part of what makes this guy so incredible. I'll scoot him back so you can see just a little better. See that leg? That just popped up out of nowhere. So here I'm going to get him all set up so we can control him well. I'm going to turn him so he's facing away from me. There we go. And then we'll get control back, and then I'll face him back at us here. There we go. So now that makes the control easy to do. In the droid here, or in the app here, we've got the controls here. And unlike the BB-8 droid, R2-D2 is actually really easy to drive. You have really precise, slow control over him, so you can make him do exactly what you want. Trying to do that same thing with BB-8 is really, really difficult just because of the nature of the way he rolls. You have really, really fine control of R2-D2. And then with the buttons over on the side, we have different emotions that we can make him do. That's one of my favorite because there it makes him stand up straight, and it gets rid of the third leg. So it just pulls up, and unlike some of the other R2 units that have a leg that will be used sometimes and sometimes not, the leg is completely gone. It pulls up completely inside of him, and you can't see it at all. So it looks exactly like R2-D2. It doesn't look like his third leg is just kind of hanging there weird. From there, we have all kinds of emotions. Yes, no, what? Yeah, shake his head. No, I can manually control his head. So if I want to make him go one way or another, I can control how fast he goes. So there, I'm slowing him down. And then, whoop, he'll drive right off. So stay here, R2. And that will make him zoom away. Then if I need to redo the aim, I can do that. And there, he's still pretty good. So this is just the drive around mode, which works really well. We've used it up in our kitchen. We chased around the cats, showed the emotions to the cats, and had a blast with that. We also then have in the second option a patrol mode where he will just patrol around the house and just look for things and tell you how far he's gone and how long he's been driving. He'll bounce off of things, turn around and go different directions. So that's kind of fun just to let him go out on his own. Then we have a new mode, which is a programmed driving mode. Now I'm not sure exactly what the scale of these boxes are. That's been part of the difficulty, so I'm going to zoom in here. The problem I've had with this is I would draw big squares, and he takes up a big area. Like this square here, if you zoom out, oh no, so I drew a line there accidentally. We'll see what he does. He's probably going to go crazy because that's too big for this area. Oh, is he going to make it? Yep. So that's too much for my little desk here. There we go. So let's try this again, and we will just do a little up, and back. There you go. So he just did that programming, and if you have this, the square is like the size of a basketball court. So if you draw big loops, he would drive around all over the place. You could do a lot of coordination with him. We also then have the augmented reality mode. So this lets you, depending on which droid you're connected to, tour one of the ships. So here with R2-D2, we're gonna see the Millennium Falcon. To calibrate the screen, you just leave it straight up and then press the screen so it knows where you are. Now R2 doesn't drive around during this time, which I was a little nervous about because it would take a big area. And you can see here as I turn, so we'll get a double view, as I turn the screen, it turns the view, and it does turn R2 with it, but then he doesn't drive forward. So here now, let's see, I want to go forward through the Millennium Falcon, so I can go through, and then to turn, you don't turn this way, that slides you sideways. You actually turn the screen in order to turn and go different directions. So probably what we'll do is we'll have a separate view at some point, a separate video, and we'll just take a tour through all these ships. So it's kind of interesting. It's nice. Oh, there we're in the cockpit. You can see what it looks like outside. It looks like we're maybe in hyperspace. It's kind of an it's kind of a virtual reality mode with the blue, and it's from R2's point of view. I do wish that they would redo it and it had a higher resolution, because this would be really cool if it had high graphics. But it's kind of neat to just give a tour around. And we also have Star Wars mode. This is where you can watch the movie. Oh, geez. Calm down. You're looking the wrong way, BB-8. There we go. You can watch one of the films, and this happened first with The Force Awakens and BB-8, and I watched all of The Force Awakens with BB-8 one time. Now you can do it with multiple droids. So this is one where you can go in and you can scan for additional droids, and it will go through and it will check for all of them. And before, where I could only select one, now I can actually select all three. We are not going to connect. So there it's going to light up BB-8 also and get him connected, and then we will confirm. So we're just going to watch the movie with these two. I can choose either Rogue One, A New Hope, or The Force Awakens right now, but it looks like they're going to be adding the other movies. I really want to watch A New Hope with R2-D2 because he is a star of that show, and he should have some really good reactions to it. Then you go through and you select the movie, select the language that you're going to watch it in, and then just start the movie, and they will listen and interact with the movie. You can choose and flip it back and forth between the droids while you do this, and it'll say here you can get BB-8 rotated so he's facing toward the screen. You can switch back to R2-D2, get him turned so he's facing the screen, because if they're not looking at the TV, it would just be weird, right? So there you go, you can get them both facing the same direction. This does work with BB-9E, and he'll respond to these movies even though he's not in any of them on this list. At least it's not as far as we know. Then when you're done here, you can go back to the main menu, and it will go with the droid that you're selected on at the time. So now BB-8's orange because he is not connected. I can't switch back and forth easily in this menu for that. But here you go, that's what he does. So then we can get him to drive again. He won't drive again. Why won't you drive again, R2? Oh, there we go. Come on, let's get you rotated. So he will go back into, get his third leg out for rotating, and then we can steer him again. Once we had him, had to get him calibrated once. Now, this is my favorite one of all of them. This upper right-hand corner. Cracks me up every time, just the way he knocks himself down. Now, he can't stand himself back up, so that could be a problem, but then he'll just sit here and hang out. So this R2, I've seen a couple different ones, and we're going to compare him with some of the other droids on the market. He's about $180 right now, so he's 3 times the cost of the Hasbro R2-D2, and he's smaller, but he does so much more. Just the way he looks there, the way he interacts, and he'll just stand there, and he'll flop around and make noises just like in the movie. And then when you want, that third leg comes out, and he will roll around, and it just looks perfect. It's just the absolute best looking R2 I have ever seen by far. I think it's well worth the extra money that we've got invested in him. If you want one of these R2 units, there's a link down below where you can find them on Amazon. It's not too hard. And if you found this useful, leave a like below and subscribe so you see the next R2-D2 comparison, and maybe a look at BB-9E to see what the villain of The Last Jedi is. You think maybe he'll come around? Will he end up being good? I doubt it. I think he's just going to be a big jerk. Or he won't be in the movie really at all, like happened with Rogue One and the black droid that I didn't even see on screen. Hopefully that's not the case. So until next time, remember, if you're going to be a geek, Be an Elite Geek.